USA 1-cent coin from 1974 Antiaro. This 1-cent coin could be worth a fortune. Hey everyone. Welcome back to the coin's capital, where we uncover the true value of your pocket change. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1974 Lincoln 1-cent coin, a coin that most people overlook, but collectors know can be a hidden treasure. Some of these pennies have sold for thousands, and one even made headlines as a $1 million mystery. Let's explore the history, design, minting details, and how you could be holding one worth big bucks. Historical background. America and 1974. The year 1974 was one of political tension and economic uncertainty in the United States. President Richard Nixon was under immense pressure from the Watergate scandal, and inflation was beginning to rise. The cost of copper was also increasing dramatically, which forced the U.S. Mint to consider alternatives for the 1-cent coin's composition. This is a key detail because it led to the creation of a few rare experimental coins that could be worth a fortune today. Design and symbolism. The classic look with powerful meaning. Let's take a closer look at the coin's timeless design. Obverse. Front. Abraham Lincoln's bust, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909, remains the centerpiece. Above his head is the motto, "In God We Trust," with liberty to the left and the date, 1974, to the right. Some coins bear a D, Denver, or S, San Francisco, mint mark. Reverse, back, designed by Frank Gasparo. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial with the inscriptions, United States of America, and E Pluribus Unum above. At the bottom, 1 cent. And yes, if you look very closely, you'll spot Lincoln's statue within the memorial. These symbols reflect patriotism, unity, and reverence for a president who preserved the nation through its greatest trial, the Civil War. Mintage process. How the 1974 penny was made. The standard 1974 penny was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. But due to rising copper prices, the mint struck experimental aluminum cents in 1974 to explore cheaper options. Here's the breakdown of standard mintage figures. Philadelphia Mint. No mint mark, over 4.2 billion. Denver Mint. D, about 4.1 billion. San Francisco Mint. S, over 412 million proof coins. And for the rare aluminum test coins, only 1,570 were struck, and nearly all were ordered destroyed. Only a few escaped, making them one of the rarest U.S. coins ever created. Rarity. What makes some 1974 pennies special? Most 1974 cents are common. But here's what makes some of them stand out. 1974 aluminum cent, Philadelphia, only a few known to exist. These are illegal to own, but incredibly valuable if ever discovered. 1974 D aluminum cent, even rarer. Only one confirmed example exists. It was found in 1974 by a former mint employee. Legal controversy surrounds it, but it's rumored to be worth over $2 million. Double die errors. Look for doubling on the date or lettering, which adds significant collector value. Off-center strikes, clip planchets, or bra strikes. These mint errors can be worth $50 to several $100s depending on severity and condition. High-grade coins. MS66, MS67 red pennies with full red color and no wear can be quite rare and valuable. Value. How much is your 1974 penny worth? Here's a helpful value guide depending on condition and rarity. Type/condition. Estimated value range. Circulated, common, 1 cent. 5 cent uncirculated, MS60, MS65 red, $1. $15 MS66 red, $25. $50 MS67 red. Very rare, $2,000. $600 double die error, $50. $3,000 plus off-center/planchet errors, $25. $2,500 plus 1974 aluminum cent, Philadelphia, potentially $250,000 plus, not legal to own. 1974 D aluminum centromer, $2 million plus, unique. Recent auctions. Real sales that turned heads. A 1974 D aluminum cent surfaced in 2014 and made headlines. Although its auction was halted due to legal disputes, experts estimated its value at $1.50 to $2 million. A 1974 S-proof penny and PR70 deep cameo sold for around $600 at auction. A 1974 Lincoln cent MS67 red fetched $475 in a 2022 heritage auction. These examples show that condition and rarity truly make all the difference. Worth millions in circulation, still possible. So can a 1974 penny be worth millions? Yes, but with a big if. If you happen to discover an undocumented aluminum cent or an unknown error variant, it could be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Even high-grade copper examples with dramatic doubling or other errors could bring in thousands. Some of these coins are still believed to be out there, unfound, in circulation, coin jars, or old collections. That's why collectors are always checking 1974 pennies with a magnifying glass and weighing scale. Conclusion: your 1974 penny might be more than change. There you have it. The full story behind the 1974 Lincoln 1-cent coin. While billions were made, a handful of them are among the rarest and most valuable coins in U.S. history. So what should you do? Check the weight. Aluminum coins weigh just 0.93 grams instead of 3.11 g. Look for doubling or errors. Submit high-quality finds for grading. Don't dismiss what looks ordinary. It might be extraordinary if you've got a 1974 penny. Take a second look. You might be holding history and maybe even a fortune. If you enjoyed today's video, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss the next coin you should be checking for in your change. Have you found anything rare? Drop your story in the comments below. We love hearing from fellow collectors. Until next time, happy hunting and keep your eyes on the cents. 1964 USA 5-cent coin, Jefferson nickel. Welcome back, friends. Today's video takes us into the world of nickels, but not just any nickel. We're talking about the 1964 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel. Now, this might seem like one of the most common coins in America, and in some ways it is. But what if we told you that some of these can be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars today? And yes, there's even one that reached into five-figure territory at auction. Historical background: let's find out why. The story begins in the early 1960s. The United States was deep in the Cold War, the civil rights movement was making headlines, and the coin shortage was real. In response, the U.S. Mint produced over 2.8 billion Jefferson nickels in 1964 alone, making it the highest mintage year for any 5-cent coin in U.S. history. That massive number is split between two mints, Philadelphia and Denver. You can tell which is which by checking the reverse of the coin. A small D mint mark to the right of Monticello indicates Denver, while no mint mark means it came from Philadelphia. Design of the coins designed by Felix Schlag. The 1964 nickel features a profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse facing left. You'll also see the motto "In God We Trust," the word liberty, and the year 1964. On the reverse is Jefferson's Virginia home, Monticello, centered in classic neoclassical form with the inscriptions E Pluribus Unum, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. Simple, elegant, and unchanged in design for decades. Now here's where things get interesting. Despite being one of the most common coins, the 1964 nickel has several variations, conditions, and errors that can make it extremely valuable to collectors. But before we dive into that, let's talk composition. These nickels are made from 75% copper and 25% nickel with no silver content. They're non-magnetic, durable, and resistant to corrosion, which is why so many still survive today. The real value of any 1964 nickel depends heavily on its condition, rarity, strike quality, and whether it has full steps. Now, if you're new to coin collecting, full steps refers to the lines on Monticello steps. A coin with all 5 or 6 steps clearly visible without breaks or wear is incredibly rare for this year. That's because the 1964 nickels were struck with worn-out dies due to the coin shortage, and sharp detail was often sacrificed for speed, worth, and millions. So, how much can they be worth? A circulated 1964 nickel, the kind you find in loose change, is generally worth just 5 cents. But an uncirculated coin, especially one graded MS-65 or higher, can be worth $50 to $3,000 or more depending on demand. Still not impressed? Well, here's the big one. In 2021, a 1964 D Jefferson nickel-graded MS-66 with full steps by PCGS sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $6,000. And that's not the only one. Several others with similar full-step designations and high grades have sold for $2,000 to $5,000, depending on eye appeal and strike quality, but we're not done yet. There are also a few mysterious coins from 1964 that collectors and experts are still chasing. The 1964 Special Strike Jefferson nickels. These were not released into circulation and are believed to have been experimental or collector-only coins struck under unique conditions. They have surfaces that are halfway between a proof and a business strike, sharp details, satin-like texture, and highly unusual finishes. Only a few dozen are known to exist. How to make grading for coins. One of these rare special strike nickels, graded SP68 by PCGS, sold for over $32,000 at auction. That's right, $32,000 for a 5-cent coin. If you happen to come across a 1964 nickel with unusually sharp details and smooth satin luster, you might want to have it checked by a grading service. It could be one of these extremely rare and valuable strikes. Error coins. Now, let's talk errors, because 1964 is known for some fascinating minting mistakes. Double die obverse, die clashes, off-center strikes, and even repunched mint marks can all command premiums. A strong double die with clear doubling in the lettering or date could be worth $100 to $3,000 or more depending on its severity and grade. These errors are rare but real, and they're out there, often hiding in jars or drawers. Mintage of the coins. Want to test your nickel at home? Here's what you do. First, check the mint mark. Is there a D or none at all? Then examine the steps of Monticello under a magnifying glass or loupe. Are they all visible? No breaks? If so, you could be looking at a full-step specimen, which can bring in serious collector interest. And of course, look for any doubling, off-centering, or unusual luster that might point to a special strike or error. Rarity of coins. So, what's the bottom line? Can your 1964 nickel make you rich? Well, for most people, the answer is no. It's still just 5 cents. But in the world of coin collecting, condition is king, rarity is queen, and the right combination of both can turn even the most common-looking coin into a 5-figure treasure. That's why it always pays to look twice. Conclusion. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the 1964 Jefferson nickel. If you learned something new or just love hunting for hidden value in everyday change, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin stories, and drop a comment if you've ever found a 1964 nickel with sharp details or unusual errors. Until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and happy collecting.